It's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking NFL Week 3. We've got a nice little deal, 15% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net if you use the code SCC. Bengals and Eagles. The Eagles are favoring this one -5.5. The total is 46.5. The Eagles are 0-2 and also 0-2 against the spread. The Bengals are 0-2, but also 1-0-1 against the spread. I guess it depends on the number that you got them, but on paper, these two teams, not the best in the NFL. Dan the Professor Kaiser joining us to drop some knowledge. Dan, what stands out to you when you look at these two teams or this line or any of these numbers, and what do you think the play is?
To be honest, I think this is one of those games you play if you're a glutton for punishment. I mean,
Exactly.
To be honest, you got two 0-2 teams. I guess the only bright spot would be if you look at Cincinnati. They've actually shown some promise with Joe Burrow, their number 1 draft pick. I wasn't a fan of his coming out of LSU, but he's looked decent at least. Philadelphia is just a train wreck. They blew that 17-0 lead to Washington in Week 1. They got destroyed by the Rams. I just don't. And Carson Wentz, I don't know what's happened to him. I just don't see anything promising with the Eagles at this point in time. So, having to taking a team in this one, I would take Cincinnati plus the points. I mean, they've kept both games pretty close. They had a chance in Week 1. They had a chance in Week 1 to win or at least tie it. And then Week 2, they got the garbage touchdown against the Rams or against the Browns to cover. So, I mean, at least they've keeping it close. And in that case, Philadelphia hasn't kept anything close. So I'm leaning the Bengals and the points in that one.
Right. I took the Bengals on Thursday Night Football last week because I was a glutton for punishment and I hated that game. But, I kind of like the Bengals and I took them. And what do you know? Backdoor Burrow, like to cover.
There you go.
I've seen so many people call him that, and I'm wondering if he knows that that's his nickname in the gambling world, because I don't think I'd want that nickname. But yeah, he's at least been somewhat promising. I think for the Eagles, at least Miles Sanders is back at running back. They've been really banged up. I will give him that. But Carson Wentz is putting up Kirk Cousins type of numbers, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Those are not good numbers. And for your Eagles fans, I'm sorry, guys. It looks like it's going to be a tough year as of now. But it's so hard on the NFL because you can't overreact week to week. There's so much parity, and there's a team that'll surprise you every week. So in this one, I have no idea. But if I picked a side, I think I would lean Bengals here.
And then if you just look at the ATS numbers, Cincinnati's 9-4 in their last 13 games on the road. Philadelphia's 3-7 in their last 10 games overall. 4-10 ATS. Their last 14 games is a home favorite. And Cincinnati's won the last 5 ATS between the two teams. So if you look at all the trend numbers, they line up in Cincinnati's favor. And I just think the way the two teams are playing right now, even though they're both 0-2, Cincinnati's just played a little bit better. It's not saying a lot, but they are playing a little bit better.
Well, and also one final stat before we go. Cincinnati is actually 9-0 against the spread against the Eagles, which is a crazy stat. So maybe that trend continues here and they go 10-0 against the spread against the Eagles. That's going to do it for NFL Talk here on Picks and Parlays. Good stuff from Dan. Dan, thanks for joining us.